What am I in for here?
You're in for a fairly nasty 3 to 4 minutes of work. Yeah, nasty in the sense that it pushes you into the anaerobic zone. So unlike, say, doing a half an hour on an elliptical at the gym or something like that, where it's just a steady state, this test will push you up to your maximum heart rate and hold you there for literally a couple of minutes. So if you think of maybe a really hard interval or a sprint that you might have done, whether it's in some sport or something, it's that magnified maybe 10 times. So when
10 times harder than the hardest thing I've done.
Well, not so much 10 times harder, but it's a little bit longer hold of that. So
Okay.
it's that feeling, magnified, I use that word, I guess it's a prolonged interval, like it's a hard interval of work.
How much time do I have to finish this, and what's the fastest time you've ever seen?
We've got a 4 minutes and 15 seconds time frame, which I think you'll find is fairly generous for yourself, but we'll see.
Really?
The average male applicant is around 3:35 to 3:40, and the average female applicant, these are applicants getting on a job, is around 4:08, 4:10. And so
Same test for male and female.
Same test. It is the same standard for male and female. It's part of our application process, so to get on the job you have to complete it, and then it is part of a package that we provide as an annual fitness assessment. So as part of their annual assessment or appraisal, we take them through either a POPAT, which you're going to experience today, and we have two other options as well, timed mile-and-a-half run and or a bicycle ride with a heart rate monitor, which also involves some push-ups and a front plank and that type of thing.
So if I fail today, I go back to my real job. If a police officer doesn't pass this, what happens?
Well, we certainly spend some time with them looking at, is it due to some additional weight that they've put on, which might be some dietary issues?
Right.
Is it because of the shift work and the sleep loss and fatigue issues and creeping weight there? So there's a number of possible avenues that we would try to explore with them in the counseling process. We don't have a policy that would lead to firing for not meeting fitness standard, but we do have some incentives along the way to encourage them to maintain a fitness standard. And it is actually, we're unique in the sense that meeting fitness standard is linked to some of their pay increments along the way.
I'll ask, I guess, the tough question. I'll be honest, I see some police officers out and I wonder if they could pass a test like this.
The reality is, I guess, that they're really no different than any population, whether it be radio personalities or lawyers.
Especially radio personalities.
Well, they live in North America, and so as such they're prone to the North American diet and to shift work, etc. So yeah, our role really isn't to spend tons of time judging that so much. We recognize that there's going to be members that go through some difficulty, and part of our role in being here is to track that for them and then to encourage them to make some good choices, maybe more often than not out there when it comes to the food on the go, and trying to squeeze in some activity in and around the shift work day.
What's the record time?
Fastest time that we have here...
'Cause I'm going for it.
Yeah, that would be unwise, but some of our very fit female officers are right around the 3-minute zone, and some of our very fit male officers down under 3 minutes at around 2:40.
Does Chief Clunas take this test?
He has run this in the past, he sure has. I'm pleased to say he does his annual fitness assessment on a voluntary basis. He was hired prior to the mandatory aspect of this program, but he's participated in the voluntary aspect of the program and is a big proponent of fitness and wellness.
There hasn't always been mandatory fitness for police officers?
There hasn't. It started 24 years ago, actually, 24 years ago. I believe Chief Clunas has been with us for 26 or 27 years, something like that. Prior to that, there was, I believe, if memory serves me, there was an annual weigh-in while officers were moving through their pay steps. That was all they had back in that day, really. Officers joined the job very fit, and so if we can just help them to hang in there, stay in a reasonable zone, you know, maybe a little bit ebb and flow, but if they can hold on to those levels as they go, then they're going to be in good stead and able to do their job. Keep walking, just walk around lap 2. There's the official time for the camera.
So that's a pass.
That's
you
a
needed
pass.
4:15.
4:15 and under.
So you finished with 8 seconds to spare. How you feeling?
Hard. That was hard. I thought this was going to be the hardest part. The last few laps of the run are actually the hardest part. you think you're fine, and then the last couple laps, it really kicks in.
What are you feeling? Like, what's your body feeling at that point?
Really dry mouth, like after a couple laps, really dry mouth, and you're just gasping a little bit. It's pretty dry in here. Whew.
So compared to your overall expectation, concerns, easier, harder? What surprised
It
you?
was harder than I thought at first it was going to be easy. Then I came here and people like Hilton and everyone here, Evan, freaked me out. I thought it was going to be really hard. And it ended up being sort of somewhere in the middle. But definitely a respect for any police officer who comes and does this. This is not easy.
Advice for someone who's coming to do it for the first time?
Don't be overconfident. That's the number one thing Hilton told me. It's humbling.
Yeah.
It's super humbling. Don't come in and just think you're going to roll through it, because you come in and it's just a little gym and it looks like it's something anyone could do, but it's tough. Listen to what they tell you and just keep focused on moving forward.